The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Operating from the gun, Monroe, and he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up fourth.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Off play action. Fields sliding out of the pocket.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting.
And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Up the gut, Fournette. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Monroe. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
And that's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
The offense on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Evans in motion left. To throw on 3rd down. Monroe flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this one is right down Broadway. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead.
Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, Bean, the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on third down. Two minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Throwing on first down. Monroe. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards. So a nice throw right there. And this, we all know, a big test for this young man at quarterback. He guided his team into the playoffs as a wild card. And now here he is on the road looking to get his guys to the second round. It's certainly a tough task no matter how you slice it.
Oh, I absolutely agree 100%. And while no one around the franchise is going to, co-sign on what I'm about to say, because all they're focused on is winning this game. But let's face it, partner, no matter what happens in this one, they've got their quarterback to build their roster around for the future. That's got to feel good for everyone associated with this team.
Otten brings it in over the middle. Touchdown! Cade Otten, 26 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Now the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Takes it at the 7. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Here's Fields. He'll buy some time right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
Another incompletion there. That's 5 in a row now to start this game. He's got to take a deep breath now, step back, shake it off a little bit, trust his offensive line, and hope that his play caller dials up something that can give him a completion and get him going.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Back to throw. Fields out to his left. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Trey Flowers picks it, and the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Let's go now. Mikey, please. 52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic.
On 1st down, Monroe. He completes this to Russell Gage. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go. 18 Cardinal. 60 Broadcast.
To throw on 2nd down, Monroe. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're certainly in need of some kind of points here before the end of the half. A field goal or something, being shut out right now. They could really use some momentum before they head into halftime. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
45 is the mic. Right here, right here. 45 is the mic. 45 is the mic. I got one, I got one, I got one.
From the gun, here's Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Levante David. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Monroe. And he holds it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Cameron Brate in the final seconds of the first half. And the Buccaneers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. From the 6. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. Dancing to his left. And he'll get this complete downfield to Kmet. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, one of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And he takes this near the 25, just a little past there, call it the 26. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Fields. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And now here is another interception.
picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Buccaneers are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
They begin with a run by Fournette. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Running out of the gun with White. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Evans, the man in motion left. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. He'll begin by dropping it off to Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery.
And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And that is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On the return, here comes Newsom. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. Fournette on the counter. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Well, Leonard Fournette, so big and strong, tough to wrap up. At that time, they did so by grabbing the face mask.
Well, as you well know, he's much too big for guys to try and arm tackle. You've got to bring some body with you. This time, the hand got up too high, and that necessitated the throwing of the flag.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. Back to throw. Monroe. And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, number 1 on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the 3rd. That right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Fields. He gets this one to Johnson. And he goes out right around the 39. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Third quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Fields. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this one's going to be touchdown right at about the 35-yard line. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at about the Bears' 38. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, Fournette. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's who you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They go with White on the counter. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. White running to the left. And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at about the Bears' 27.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This offense so far on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Inside handoff now to Fournette. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. So that challenge not successful there, and that's going to cost him the first of his timeouts. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And the ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. White, he'll try the left side. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. This is the most important of them all, 3rd and goal. Here's Fournette. 6 yards puts him right on the doorstep, but now it'll be 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. They'll go with a big bank Fournette. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bucs continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Being chased out left. And, my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Taken in at the 3. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This pass on target, Velus Jones with it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
45's the mark. Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Slow. 45's the mark.
Out of the gun, Fields. Eluding the pressure right. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
I like the thought process. I like the design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close to the sideline and they don't get the yards after the catch.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. To the air again, Fields.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, has thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do that? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
You can't block me. You can't block me. 45. Man, I got you.
On first down, it's Fields. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Come to my work. Check 45 to Mike. Check 45 to Mike.
Looking to throw. Fields flushed out right. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone.